All right. Welcome to the program, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome, welcome. This is your host, Kevin Alex Bent, and we're on again. Welcome to our next exciting program of Earth World Trade Entrepreneurs Talk Show. This talk show comes on every week, Saturdays, and we have a next exciting guest on our program today. We have Felicia Hunter, and this remarkable individual is coming out of the UK. Now, she's a teacher with 6 years experience running a fabulous business online, and I wanted to take the opportunity and bring her on the program. You know, and I know that on this program, we highlight entrepreneurs that are doing tremendously well in the society, and we want to highlight them. Now, here it goes. Now, before I jump into that, furthermore with the introduction, Ms. Hunter, how are you doing today?
I am fine, thank you. How are you?
Well, I'm doing tremendously well. Thank you for asking.
Awesome.
So I want to jump right into the program. Now, for our listeners out there, you know every week how we do it here at Earthwell Trade. Now, with this talk show, we normally ask 13 questions to get the show on the road. Now, these 13 questions are designed by the public. When we did our survey, we sent it out to you and we sent it out to the public. Now, we're going to ask these questions on camera. And the reason why we're asking these 13 questions is that the public, the persons out there that are listening, they want to hear more about you and to get into your business and actually to know you and a whole and what service you offer. So let's get into the business, shall we? Now we're going to start with the 13 questions. Then thereafter, we're going to do about 15 to 20 minutes. And then you could tell the public what you want to really tell them as well, additional to what answering the questions all about. And then thereafter, I'll have an next 13 minutes where I tell them about Earthwell Trade group of companies and why did I start all these different subsidiaries within my company. And then thereafter, I'll wrap up the show. If there are any questions and so on, we can actually answer them. So let's get on the road with the show. Now, I want to ask you, for the record, what is your name and what is the name of your business?
Okay, so I am Felika Hunter, and the name of my business is Mathematics Resource Center, MRC. All right, and it's in transition, right?
And what do you mean by it's in transition?
Meaning that we're in the process of sorting out our registration to make it official Mathematics Resource Center.
Okay, so the fact is, how do you operate this business? How do you operate it?
So we are based online, strictly online. We offer classes online. So everything that we do is online. All the service that we offer is online.
All right. So I understand that the business rules operate online, strictly online right now. And I want to dig in some more about you as an individual. Where are you from? And to my knowledge, we were talking in the back there in the waiting room. You said you mentioned of Westmoreland, that you're from Westmoreland. You're a born Jamaican. So tell us, where in Westmoreland you're from?
I am from a small community in Westmoreland called Beeston Spring, right? And that is a rural community, a farming community. And
right.
That would basically, yes, be it. Yes.
Right. So, and to my knowledge as well, you said that you went to a college here in Jamaica and you were educated here in Jamaica as well. So,
yes.
Which one of the institutions you were part of?
I attended Church Teachers College in Mandeville.
I see. That's run by Ward Avenue around near that side. If I think my memory serves me correctly, around that side, going around Bishop
yes.
High School, I think that side,
yes,
right?
Yes.
Right. I'm from Mandeville, I should tell you. I was born in Mandeville, awesome. Right? But I know that Church Teachers College very well. Is on the right-hand side right there. I have a few relatives as well that went to that institution. Now, I want to ask this question. You've been a teacher for 6 years now, right? You live in the UK currently. You operate a business online, and you're teaching the curriculum of what exactly?
Okay, so presently I teach.
What type of audience?
Go again for me.
What type of audience does your curriculum captures or cater to? And the
Okay, so
reason why you started the business.
presently I am catering for students in Jamaica. Most of my students are in Jamaica, CSEC students, PEP students, also adults. So it's a wide range of students that we cater for from primary straight up until high school. We also offer classes or one-to-one
Right,
sessions for students in college as well. And we do have students, so we do tutoring with students in
right,
Canada, in USA, and here also in the UK. So our coverage is quite broad.
right. So just repeat what you just said. So you're saying that you teach students there in Canada, United
Mhm.
States, and also in the United Kingdom. And you're also
Right.
saying that you primarily focus on individuals there in the society within Jamaica, within the frameworks of the Ministry of Education.
Right, right, right.
Oh, I see. So what made you start a business?
Well, starting out, I started out as a regular classroom teacher, right? And
Mhm.
in my first year of teaching, I started doing evening classes at the institution that I was teaching, and teaching the adults, interacting with the students. These were persons who didn't get the opportunity to do mathematics, really wanted to achieve the subject, right? And I became more interested in wanting to help persons who didn't get the opportunity to complete math and really want to complete math. So then I started my own evening institute where I launched out at Culloden Institution,
Right,
and I started there basically catering for high school students and for adults. And then after the revolution of PEP, right? So PEP is a big thing, came out, and I decided to offer PEP. I realized that when it comes down to the mathematics aspect, some of the content or the expectation of the students or what they're expected to cover, um, it wasn't presented in the best format for most of our teachers, and therein there are struggles.
right,
Teachers struggle to deliver it to the students struggle to really receive what is being taught. So I decided to even branch out into doing mathematics in the PEP in the mathematics area. So that's
right.
basically it, the
So
starting ground.
you touch on a few things right there, and I want to seek some little bit of clarification. Now, for the
Right.
audience that are listening, I want to ask you: the institution that you were teaching, well, before you started this entrepreneur business of teaching persons where they may or may not have learned something within the formal curriculum issued by the Ministry of Education. And you're saying that you saw some infringements there that were the kids they did not learning or it was not designed properly of something of that nature. Can you clarify what you mean?
Okay, so starting out, I was working with most of my students were adults, and from my observation
What
is
was the
that
name of the school that you were at first?
oh, my first school, Mama Cloud High School in
Mama
Galveston,
Club.
Westmoreland. Right, so that was my first job, and I just
Right,
want to send my appreciation to the principal there for giving me my first job there. All right,
right,
so starting out, I realized that some of these students what happened along their journey through high school is that they got lost in the system. And as a
right,
teacher, I know that if I'm teaching a topic, and say, for instance, I'm teaching algebra, and my students miss out on substitution, the basic part of substitution, when, for instance, I get onto simultaneous equation and they're doing substitution in that aspect, then they are going to struggle. So what happened is that I realized that some of these students they genuinely want to learn, but somewhere along the line, they got lost in the school system. And then coming to me now, they come with a lot of misconception. Some of
but
them really do have the
I want to ask
foundation.
a very direct question.
Mm-hmm.
Could it be so? Why would you made the statement of that nature as it could be something on the ministry fault rather than a teacher teaching the students? Why would you say that?
As it relates to students being lost in the system,
Right. I want to
I
hear
do
your
not.
opinion on that.
I do not put this on any one person. It is
Hmm.
when it comes on to educating our youngsters, educating our students, our youths, it is a
Right.
collective decision. It is something that the parents must be involved, teachers are involved, ministries are involved, churches are involved, everyone must be involved. And
Right.
what happened is that somewhere along the line, the workload is left on just one person, in my opinion, and it's mainly on the teachers themselves. The workload is left on, and parents aren't
Could you
involved enough.
explain to me like
And
what a
at that
workload would
point,
look like? What would a workload look like in your definition
when
of
we
a
talk about
workload?
workload, it's not just about delivering the content to the students, but
Right?
also motivating these students, providing other avenues for these students to learn, giving
Right.
these students the opportunity to explore who they are, truly who they are, giving them opportunity to 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 even venture out into new um different aspects of the world. And
Mm-hmm.
for one, parents, when students reach especially high school, I've noticed that the interest level for most students, the parents, the interest isn't really there for most parents, right? And then for other persons who would come in and assist these children, the interest isn't really there as it is at the primary level. So there and then, teachers are doing what the most that they can, and the best that they can. But at the end of the day, parents might not be filling in as much, ministry might not be doing as much, and then sometimes it left up to just persons going in and ticking boxes to say that we have done this or we have done that, or
So
this is so or that is so,
could you
and then
identify
students
for
get
our
lost.
audience? Could you identify for our audience one area, just one, where the Ministry of Education of Jamaica has falls short? You think, your opinion,
I think that as it relates to the students themselves, when it comes down to the support that these children are given at school, so a curriculum is provided. I'm going to be specific as it relates to PEP
yeah,
now.
man. I
A
want to be
curriculum is
specific.
provided,
Yeah,
and teachers are given this curriculum to just carry out, right? I know that workshops have been conducted, but not sufficient workshop. As a teacher,
right,
I struggle to find past papers to really assist these students. I am not sure what these students are going to be getting on the exam. So you
right,
understand? So providing the materials for teachers to really carry out the task, I believe
right.
that that is one of the area that ministry is really lacking in today, right?
All
While
right,
they are
hold it
doing
right
other
there,
things
hold
that
it
is
right
good,
there, hold it right there, hold it right there. Ladies and
all right,
gentlemen, this is Kevin Alex Bent. We are on our next exciting program. Right now, we're talking to an educator, a person that is Jamaican born, no other than Felicia Hunter, a remarkable young lady that has created an institution online and helping the nations around the world and educating them through mathematics. And I want to tell you that I saw this individual. I see what she's doing. I see that she's going places. And I had to bring her on the program. So I want to ask you a question. Thank you for that right there. But I want to jump on to the next question. So what do you think about formal schooling? You're thinking if persons should choose between private and formal schooling, um, would you say private is better than formal schooling? What is your opinion of a formal schooling?
I believe that both have its benefits, and it depends on the needs of your child or the needs of the student, right? And for one, I do believe that every child should get a foundation when it comes down to education, even
Right?
if you're a child who is um good in construction or something else other than what is provided in the school regular curriculum. I do believe we must get a foundation. When it comes on
Right.
to meeting other persons and just doing basic mathematics,
Right.
these persons need to know how to do this. They need to know how to do basic calculation. They need to know how to write letters. They need to know how to do all of those things. So I do believe
So let
that
me ask you
there
a
should be a
question.
balance,
As a mathematics teacher, I want to ask you this question. You know, as I become an adult, right? And I
right?
have to be very frank right here. You know, the most of the stuff that I use in day to day life is addition, subtraction, and multiplication, right? So do you think, you know, algebra and all these other things, you think that they're needed?
Okay, so I'm gonna ask you a question now. where you are at
But
this
you have to
particular
answer that
point.
question, That question is not
I'm,
a
I'm
yes or no.
answering your question. I'm answering your question, but I need to ask you a question. Where you are at this particular point, did you believe that you would have been at this position,
Yes.
doing what you're doing? Do you believe that? Was it from say year 7, you were say, okay, yes, this is what I want to do. I want to be in trade.
Yes, but the fact of the matter is, what I'm saying to you is that, in my opinion, most of the
Mhm.
stuff that we are taught in mathematics, in practical terms, we does not even use the formula nor the equations. I'm
And I
just saying
understand
that,
what.
right. So you reverse it on me, I give you the answer. So you're saying that's a yes or no for you.
All right. So what I'm saying now is, because you're not sure the pathway that you're about to take, you're going
Right,
to take, and things do
right,
happen, things do change in life, right? I believe
right.
we get the foundation, because we do need our
Mm,
engineers, we need the algebra, we do need the our construction persons as it relates to building those bridges and making sure that the arch is where it's supposed to be and all of those things are in place. We do need those persons, and the algebra and all of those aspects of mathematics must be mastered for
right.
these persons, right? So, saying that to say that because we're not sure as individuals, our intentions, our dreams, our aspiration changes as we go along, changes as we have different experience, then of course, get the foundation. When you reach further in life and you need to use a skill, you grab onto it and you use it.
So you're saying to me that you teach both young toddlers and you teach adults. So you're saying that even when you're an adult, sometimes you just don't know where you're at. You still need to learn the algebra and so on. That's what you're saying, basically, then, and essentially. No matter where you are, you still need to learn it.
So, well, starting from an adult point, if you're a new learner and you're
Right,
at adult age, then I would
right.
believe that you would have had some idea of where you want to go. But then again, remember that as it relates to the system that we work under, you need that
Mm-hmm.
piece of paper to bring to the institution that you're applying to, or to
Right,
the for your next level of education. So even when
right,
you're not going to actually use it, you need to know that
right.
you have these skills.
So I want to ask you this question, and this is the next question. So I would like you to share some of your experience that you had there before you venture out as an entrepreneur at the school there in Westmoreland. What are some of the experience you faced as being a young teacher and you started out? I hear that ministry didn't provide enough material to the teachers to actually equip the student properly. And I'm saying to the Ministry of Education of Jamaica, you really need to shape yourself up if that is the case. Now, I'm also saying to you now, what are some of your other experience that you have experienced while being a teacher here in Jamaica?
Well, mainly starting out as a young teacher, going into the school, the challenges were there when it comes on to managing students' behavior and all of that as a new teacher. But
Mhm.
overall, I have um, met a lot of good persons in my career
Right.
who really
So would
mean
you
to
say
me.
that when you're just meeting the students and so on, and being a young teacher, the fact of the matter is, did they take the mic? And this is a term they use now. They're taking the Mickey Mouse. Because the fact that you're young and you look like them, them say, what? She look like me, So I don't know if she's my teacher or she's my peers. So did they take
Okay,
the mic
so
as well?
I did have that experience. I did have that experience. I had and I started teaching my I had level year level students teaching, and I had students. There was this young man that he would come and sit at the front of the class every time I come to class, and
Right?
that is his position. And moving from the front of the class, he wants to sit right beside me, and that's his position. And when he's sitting there, he's doing work. If he's not sitting there, he's not doing work. So yes, as a young teacher, I did have those experience, but at the same time, you had to set boundaries to let your students know that yes, I'm here to support you. I'm here to motivate you, to keep you on your journey and get you where you need to go in life and to usher you there. But at the same time, there needs to be
Right.
some boundaries as it relates to teacher-student relationship.
Well said. Well said. I want to move right into the other question for you. Um, if you could do it all over again, would you have done anything differently based on where you are now?
Not at all. No, no, no. My experience in life have um created this individual that you're looking at today,
So,
created
so,
Felika Hunter. All right. So I wouldn't.
should I ask you a question? I should ask you a follow-up question. So that one particular school that you went to in Westmoreland has tailored you, has given you enough experience so you can venture out as an entrepreneur right now. You're saying.
As it relates to when I started teaching, or you relating to high school? I'm not sure.
So the fact is, at
Mm-hmm.
that particular school, it is
Mm-hmm.
one institution from you left Church Teachers College. You went to this particular school there in Westmoreland. What's the name of it again?
Mama
Remind me.
Cloud,
Mama
Mama
Cloud.
Cloud High School. Mm-hmm.
Right. And you're saying to you, after you left that Mama Cloud High School, have you gone to a next institution of teach, or you went straight into your business venture?
Okay, so after leaving Mama Cloud High School, I started. No, I didn't went straight into. I went on to another school. So I was teaching at Godfrey Stewart High School right after, and
Right.
it was at that time that I started to do my teaching, my mathematics teaching one to one with students, and then
Right.
really deciding to have a evening institution.
Right. So I want to ask you this question. We're going to reach out about, we have next about three questions out there. I want to ask you this question. Um, do you love what you're doing currently? You love what you're doing currently, yes? Or no?
Absolutely, 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 absolutely. I am passionate about teaching. I am passionate. It's not just the mathematics, because everyone who knows me know that I love mathematics. This is my passion from high school coming straight up, right? But when it comes on to educating students, educating
Right.
our youngsters, and really
Right.
creating a pathway for our children, our nation's children, I am
Right.
passionate about that. I love that, and I want to know that every child build on the skills that they have and make the best
Right.
use of that skills. And
Mhm.
wherever I can come in as a teacher, as an educator, to help them along their journey, that's it for me.
So I want to ask you this question. So you love what you're doing and you're very passionate about it. But I want to ask you this question. What would you want your kids or future kids to remember you for?
Okay, so when I
Would you
speak,
want them to remember you as a teacher that teach at Mama Cloud? And how would you want him as an entrepreneur or as a person who went through the formal schooling setups and then you venture out to your own? What would you want your kids to remember you for?
I want my children to remember me as being passionate about what I do, right? And doing it regardless of not getting a thank you, regardless of not getting the salary that we would really want as a teacher. I want my children to remember me as being passionate, and also to have that same passion as it relates to anything that they are doing. I want them to remember that Miss Hunter is always there giving her very best. And this is something that my primary teacher always said to us: if you're going to be a garbage collector, be the best garbage collector there is. And that's what I want to leave with my children, to be the best version of themselves. And whatever they're doing, do it to the very best. Don't cut it short. Just do it to the very best.
So, but I want to ask you this question because you're very controversial in a lot of ways, and I hear the points in there. But you said something not getting a thank you. Is that directed to the students, to the school, or to the ministry? Where is that not getting a thank you coming from? What are you
Okay,
saying?
so
Yeah.
oftentimes persons might be in their field. It doesn't matter whether it's be teaching or whatever, and they tend to want to say they're working, and they're working, and they're working, and no one appreciates them, right? So I want to say is that whatever you're doing, don't do it for the appreciation. All right. So I'm not about the appreciation. You don't necessarily need to say thank you, Miss Hunter, thank you, Felika, or mm-mm. I want to make sure that when I'm through doing whatever I'm doing for you, it make a difference in your life. The
Right.
appreciation doesn't come. If it doesn't come, it doesn't matter.
So you're saying as a teacher, you have experienced so much that it is said that you don't get a thank you, basically. but persons have learned how they pass through the system. But you're seeing a cycle of persons not showing appreciation in that regard. Is that what you're
Oh,
saying?
no, 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 no. That's not what I'm saying. Persons do appreciate because I've gotten thank you, a lot of thank you all the time, right? And I've gotten
Right.
that. But what I'm saying when I mention the topic, the points appreciation, I'm saying whatever you are doing as an individual, do
Right.
it without the mindset of someone saying thank you, right?
Right.
And just
So
do
you
it to the
just do
best
it
of your ability.
freely
Don't
without
do it
expectations.
right. Don't do it with expectations, right?
That's what you're saying. So that being said, I don't do anything within the expectation. You have all these adults and these toddlers there. You're very much passionate about teaching mathematics. You're very much good at it, and you have created a business from it. Now you have targeted the young and the old, and the person that are able or not in the society across the world, in particular in Jamaica. And we have bright individuals like yourself that have left the country into a state of brain drain, but you have actually taken a step further in giving back by targeting back your home country of birth. So I want to say congratulations on that. Not many persons gone to a next foreign country or a European country for that matter, or the colonies of the British Empire and look back. So I want to say on camera that I want to say congratulations on that, and I'm very much proud of you for that. Now, I also wanted to ask you a question. Do you have any regrets?
I am that kind of person that doesn't live with regrets. I am the
Do you
person
have
that
any?
say, Felika, you have made that error right there. Okay, what's the lesson in that? Okay, that's the lesson that let's learn from this. Let's move on. No regrets. That is too much pressure on your mental state. No regrets.
So can I ask you a question? This is a curveball question. What are some of the experience you face with students in the UK, students in the United States, students there in Canada, students in Jamaica? These one US, Canada, UK, Jamaica. There's four different equations right here. Four. So what are some of the difference you find in the attributes of these students within these four different countries?
Okay, so even though I teach in well for the UK, the biggest comparison that I can make is for the UK and for Jamaica because I've taught both in the general school setting, right? As it
Right,
relates to Canada and USA, I'm doing tutoring with students, and these students are normally Jamaican students, so they will have similar principle to the students that I teach in Jamaica. All right,
right,
so as it relates to students here in UK and Jamaica, I do find my students in Jamaica to be more respectful, to be honest, and
right.
uh, and that is something that I really really value about those students. They that level of respect and care. As it relates to the students here, I do the resources are provided for them, which give
Right.
them a push, and then
And we're
we
talking
tend to
about here, we're
cater.
talking about the United Kingdom, yes?
Yes, I'm talking about United Kingdom, all right? So the resources are provided for them, and as it relates to catering for their specific needs. Because listen, these things when it comes on to autism, dyslexia, they are real. ADHD, they are real. All right. So these are some things that we don't really pay much attention to in Jamaica. A child is up and running
So based
around
on
the
your
classroom.
experience, I'm
We
gonna
just
ask
say
you this
that they're
question. So
rude.
based on your experience, and I continue, but I wanna throw this in there. So based on your experience with these Jamaican students, and they have history and their generation maybe from Jamaica, and they migrate and go into a different settings. What are some of the experience that you face? Let me be more direct with the questions. Do you
Okay.
find that the US students are more attentive than the UK students and vice versa? Do you find that the Jamaicans are more attentive in class that are Jamaican, that are still here in Jamaica? Or the different, So what are the difference? What group of people, what group of students do you find is the most attentive?
I think my Jamaican students would be more attentive. They have a greater respect for education.
Hmm. I could see. And could it be because of and this is our opinion question again, could it be because of the support? and the free for all and the easy access to education. That's why these foreign countries or European countries, colonies, so to speak, they're still a member within the colony, Canada and the United States. They are same English people, in my opinion, and based on history as well. So what I'm saying is, you'll find that because it's a lot more accessible. The fact is, they don't really take it more serious. You're saying?
To an extent, and there is
Mm-hmm.
more opportunity here for those students when it comes on to getting jobs, and if they do not succeed in one area, they can always venture into another area, and there's a lot more provision made for these children here, right? While in Jamaica, it's not there. So it's we are taught from an early age that education is your way out. Education is the only way out. And because we were deprived of education some years ago, then of course we have a great respect for education. We value education. We put a high price tag on it. So I think that is the difference between the two.
I mean, I think the British Crown has put in a high price on it as well. If you check out any of these prestige universities, Oxford, Yale, Princeton, and all of them, they are also owned by most of them by slave masters. Most of these establishments were created through slavery and by slave masters. And that is just a fact about history. We're not going to do a history lesson today. We're going to keep it on the mats. I'll ask you one more question and we'll jump on to the next segment. What does it mean? This is the final question. This is the 13th question. What does it mean, your opinion, for you to be an entrepreneur? Your own definition. What do you think it means to be an entrepreneur?
For me, I believe that being an entrepreneur is really you launching out and following your true passion wherever it leads you, whatever that passion is. So it's
Right,
you looking to say that yes, I'm good at teaching mathematics, I'm good at trade, I'm good at consulting with persons, and
right,
whatever that is, it is you really creating a business around that. And if you really look in today's day and time,
right,
everyone is pushing into becoming an entrepreneur, right? Creating your own business, having that stability. When you are an employee, it's a matter of time that okay, the person come and say your time here is finished. It's just finished. Something happened as it is happening now with this pandemic. We have persons losing their job day in day out constantly, and that's because they're an employee. But when you're an entrepreneur now, you're creating your own business, providing your own service or goods, then you're creating not just employment for yourself, but also employment for others. All right. So for me, that is being an entrepreneur, following your true passion, creating opportunity for yourself and also creating opportunity for others.
I want to thank you so much for that. I am Kevin Alex Bent. I am your host tonight. I am speaking to my special guest tonight, Felika Hunter, a Jamaican born from Westmoreland. They're in the United Kingdom, operating a business online right now, helping students across the world, in particular the United States, Canada, and the United Kingdom, and here as well, students who are studying online based on the new changing within governance structure and the rules of engagement as it relates to the World Health Organization. And also, I want to touch base now to the next segment of the program where I'm going to allow her to get about 15 to 15 minutes because the time is going very nicely the same way. Give her about 15 minutes. She's going to tell you what she want to tell you about her business, anything that she'd have missed out during the questions, and then she could take the time to explain her business in more detail or anything that else you want to share. Then thereafter, I will make mention of why I start Earthwell Trade Group of Companies. So take it away. There you go. Tell us.
Okay, thank you, Alex. Thank you. And
You're
I must say
welcome.
thank you for inviting me to this program. Did I get the opportunity to say that? It is a
Right.
pleasure being here. Okay,
Thank you.
so
Thank you.
as mentioned earlier, I am Felika Hunter and I am presently the sole, what you say, CEO or leader as it relates to Mathematics
You're a
Resource Center.
solopreneur.
Yes, and Mathematics Resource Center is, as the name suggests, mathematics. We are centered around providing lessons, providing classes, providing the best there is when it comes on to mathematics. We cater for students from primary straight up to college. Presently, we have our PEP class, which is for grade 4 to grade 6 students. And in
Right.
our PEP class, we cater for, we do content building, we do performance tasks, and we also do ability tests. And we are really zooming in on building that critical thinking, right? So helping our students to really think critically. As for our grade 7 to 9 class, we focus mainly on foundation concepts, making sure
Right.
that those misconceptions that they have collected along the way, that we deal with those
Mm-hmm.
misconceptions and prepare them for year 10, year 11 when they are prepared for their exit exam from high school, which is CSEC. And then, of course, we have our CSEC class, which is for high school students, year 10, year 11, and also adults. And with our CSEC class, we we basically we do content building and we focus a lot on helping our students to understand the structure of the exam questions, and also we provide full support when it comes on to SBA. So if you haven't heard, Miss Hunter is big when it comes on to SBA. I am known for this. All right, so even if you have any query when it comes on to your SBA that you're doing, you can always reach out to me and I can give that support for your SBA. And of course, we have our additional mathematics class. And this is one of my passion. This is something that I started some years ago. And the first time I started it, my students did it in 6 months. And it was a success. We had students getting grade 1 with straight A profile, doing a
Right.
2-year course in 6 months. All right,
Right.
so we do offer additional mathematics as well and pure mathematics. In 2019, our passes. For me, my passes for CSET math was 100% pass. All right.
What
And I
you
was
say?
teaching at the,
100%.
yes, 100% pass. So I was teaching at Manning's school at the time, and that was 100% pass for CSEC. For additional mathematics, it was 100% pass as well. And then for pure mathematics, it was 80%. So basically, I have the experience, right? And it's not just about the experience, but it's about the passion to really deliver to my students. And my clients will always say that, yes, they have the best experience with us here at Mathematics Resources Center. And in a nutshell, that is what we are presently offering. Yes, there is books coming and more books and other things coming, other resources coming on board in the short run. But at the moment, we're offering all our classes online.
Well, perfectly said. I want to tell you that not many persons can come on to a show and say, you know what, listen, man, I have some great pass marks right here and 100%. So all these parents out there and clients in particularly who value mathematics and want their child to actually be tutored by somebody who know what they're doing and could get a pass mark of such high marks, I want to come to your school too. Hmm? But I
Indeed.
want to touch base on something now, very much important. Now, we're in a different era of time right now in a digital space. The banks deal with fiat currency, and it was, in my opinion, only 10 to 15% of fiat currency in circulation at any given point. The next 85 to 90% of currency is in binary options in digital currency. Now, how do your client pay you? Do they pay a digital currency, for example, Ethereum, Bitcoins, and so on? Or do they pay you through the regular transaction if they want to make a payment? Do they do a bank transfer, wire transfer? Are they paying gold? How do you take a payment?
Okay, so thank you for asking. So presently, we take our payments through bank system. So we have an account at JN that they, for persons in Jamaica, the money is deposited in that account, and you do send proof of payments, and we do our follow-ups, right? And the
Right,
present in UK, then it would have been through the same banking system, or we do have a PayPal account, Mathematics Resources Center. So
right,
it's one or the other.
right.
And we do have
So
Cash App as well for
I
persons
have
who want
cash
to
up
do
as
Cash
well.
App. Yes.
No, that is what persons want to hear. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm your host tonight. We bring you exciting, fantastic, tremendous, remarkable individuals across the world that is doing phenomenal work within the society. I am your host, Kevin Alex Bent, and I want to tell you right now you're tuning to Earth World Trade Entrepreneurs Talk Show. Every week at 8 o'clock on a Saturday, we bring live entrepreneurs across the world, and we bring them onto the program, highlight them, let them tell you what their business is about. And if you find their business interesting, you can always reach out to us and we get back to you. Now, that being said, I want you to give your number and an email address for the persons who are watching the program and would like to get in touch with you. Go on.
Okay, so it is plus, and you must put the plus if you're going to reach me on WhatsApp. It is important to put that plus. So you're going to put your plus, then 447555. So that's 3 5s there. 136738. And I just
Right.
repeat the number again. Plus
Right.
447555136738. And
Right.
for email, it is Mathematics Resource Center. Center is spelled with TRE and not TER. So
Right.
Mathematics Resource Center at gmail.com.
All
And you
right.
can
Thank
reach
you
us
so
on
much.
Facebook. You can reach us on YouTube. We have a wonderful YouTube channel, right, where we
Right.
do classes, we do lessons, we do questions for students who would send me questions. I will just go on YouTube and I will just do the questions so that other persons can benefit. And just
I
to
just
add,
subscribe to your channel, and I cut in, but I just subscribe to your channel there on YouTube as well. Earthwell Trade did subscribe to your channel there
awesome.
on YouTube.
Awesome. All right. So just to add that on a Wednesday, we offer free pep class to all students across Jamaica, and it
What
is
is
at
name?
4 p.m. to 5 p.m. So on a Wednesday, we offer free pep class. And here in the pep class, we focus on ability tests and also
Right.
performance task. And that is every Wednesday. The platform can only hold 100 students. Within
Right.
2 minutes, the platform is normally full. So what I do advise is for persons to go over to YouTube and watch the lesson from YouTube, and you can interact with us on YouTube.
Very powerful stuff. Very powerful stuff. I'm your host, Kevin Alex Bent, and that is the segment right there. You heard from her. You see what our business is about. Now I'm going to tell you what Earthwell Trade Group of Companies is about and why did I start it and how did I come about. Now, in 2013, Kevin Alex Bent, what I did was to start a venture capital company. I started Earthwell Trade Limited, and the money that I was earning at the time when I was having a 9 to 5 job, selling insurance for different companies through a brokerage house, I normally give my pay back to somebody that is in need with interest, and that person would pay me back a little thing on my principal. And I started that, and I go on and go on and go on because I found out that not many persons could get a soft loan. Not many persons could get a loan. Not many persons could find somebody to borrow anything from. That is the society that we lived in. Now, when I got my base salary, I could live on that. Plus, I'm making money from my commissions. Selling insurance policies. They give you a commission and they gave me a base salary. So what I did was the commission that I get, persons were coming to me and said, boy, Alex, I'm in a rough spot. Can you lend me something until the next paycheck? And you can get it back with a little something on it. So what I did was to establish an IOU note. And what I did was to just issue them that on a promissory note. And I started that company and I run with it. And it was successful, still is. And after I realized I'm good with numbers, my boss looked at me and said, listen, man, you're a very clever young man, you know. You know, you should start your own company. But at that point in time, not many persons knew that I was going through a divorce at the time. So at that particular time, I wanted to actually stay at that cash flow because when I was there, my wife didn't at the time believe in me, you know, starting my own company. It's the worst thing ever. Having a partner that don't believe in starting your own company. They believe you going out there to get a job and come back in. So I'm telling you, I was suffering from that as well. And I started and said, you know what? Let me just do the divorce. So I divorced my wife. And then thereafter, I just run. I run so fast with my business and my agenda. And I went through the College of Insurance, finished that. Then I went through the Jamaica Stock Exchange, and I did my securities course there, got the certificate and so on. And then I learned what the corporate world was doing. I learned the golden rules. I learned what these big boys, so to speak, were doing. And learning the governance structure and how the principles work. The case may be we're living a capitalist system. My gain is your downfall. Dollar cost average. These things are not being taught in formal schooling. And when I finished that, the amount of knowledge I had here, I said, hold on, I need to impart this knowledge. So what I did was to actually share the knowledge with persons and learn at a faster pace. Now, as I build myself, I realize that there is other awesome individuals who have the same mindset or similar mindset as me. So they want to talk to me. So I said, all right, you know what? Let's create a talk show. So you can come and share your idea on the talk show, and other persons can benefit from you coming onto the show. So when I started to do that, I realized that everything around me started to grow. The clientele grew. If, 10X said something, Grant Cardone, that guy, I appreciate him. He's from the United States. He does real estate. He says contacts lead to contracts. Contacts lead to contracts. So what I did was to build more contacts so I can get more contracts. Simple logic. And what I did was to leverage the business against each other. And here am I today. So I want to tell the public that whatever that you want to do, and me and my ex-wife right now is best buddies. We're still cool and all these things. And they come to appreciate the man that I am now. And I'm always chasing myself. So I'm not in no competition with anybody. I'm always chasing my own self and doing better by myself each day. So that being said, I want you guys out there who are listening on the program to know, just like Miss Hunter here, she was there in the classroom. She saw the need that the students need. She created a need and she created a service from it. And that's what I'm saying. I saw the need and I created a service from it. And then providing that service, persons start to benefit from it. And that's how you become rich. Providing service or a product. Either you'll be a consumer or a producer, whichever one that you are. So this particular pen, somebody produced the pen. I am the one that is using it to write. So I am the consumer. So you have to decide in life, are you going to be a producer or a consumer? Either way. But we're not going into the economics right now and the financial game like that. The case may be tonight. I want to thank you, Ms. Hunter, for coming on the program on Earthwell Trade Entrepreneurs Talk Show and share with us. And I want to say, you are one of those Jamaicans. You are one of those humans that is doing significant work to the society because of the matrix that we all live in, that is designed by the order for persons to live in within the framework. So what I'm saying is for you to be having this level of intellect and be sharing with persons so they can actually move forward into the matrix of the society, I want to say I sincerely thank you for the work that you have done on behalf of me and my brothers.
Thank you for having me as well. Thank you.
Right. So that being said, I'm your host, Kevin Alex Bent, and we're going to wrap up the show right now. Do you have anything to say before we close off? Any final remarks, any comments?
Okay, so I would just like to encourage everyone out there who have that dream, that passion, launch out, start doing that today. Don't wait, all right? You might hear a lot of no's on your way to success, but guess what? When you hear those no's, you know that you're doing the right thing. So start today. Follow your dreams.
Well said. Follow your dreams. And I want to say, on behalf of Earthwell Trade Academy, Earthwell Trade Group of Companies, I want to thank you for listening. Until next week, we're going to join the program with our next entrepreneur that is doing remarkable work in the society. Until then, I'm your host, Kevin Alex Bent. Bye-bye for now.